The kind of art that gets my passion going, my mind thinking. It's a lot of sort of old activism posters and revolutionary kind of posters. Small collectives doing their own thing with a lot of energy and colour. I think art that actually says something. I'm Ida, aka Aida Wilde. I'm a printmaker, an artist. My childhood was fairly traumatic. I was in the middle of a war in Iran, well, since the age of 2. It was very turbulent for me. So I suppose doing art was a lot to do with fantasy and escapism, creating some sort of an alternate reality. My work is very much divided in two. I have studio work and I have my outdoor work and social commentary work. You know, I was the refugee, and that side of my life and my voice is where the street art bit, or the outdoor part of my life begins. You know, I've been examining this for a couple of years now, why I do this. It's because I am exercising my freedom and voice and what I have to say. So that's where that comes from. Back in 2006 or 7 or 8, you know, no one really thought that actually you could make a career out of doing street art or putting work out in the streets. It was very much recreational, because in those days it wasn't still seen as tourist kind of candy trap that it is now. I was hanging around with a lot of street artists and wall printing together and doing stuff together. So the majority of the posters I started making were about gentrification and how much like East End was changing, and I think that was the first foray of me realising actually we're in a really good position and in a really good area to distribute as much propaganda as possible. There wasn't that many women involved. People like Miss Van and Maya and, you know, even Swoon and stuff, huge inspirations. But it was mostly the guys that I met that encouraged me to get my posters and slogans and stuff like that out there. So it was very, very nurturing. I think a lot of the work that I do about home and gentrification and things like that stems from displacement, because I was displaced. And that, I think that's what triggers me going into this weird fighting mode. I'm so blessed that I can understand this and why and the purpose of what I do and channel it in, you know, in a really positive way to try and make some sort of an impact. Daddy, I Want a Fucking Pony. It's loosely based on Veruca Salt from Olly Walker. Daddy, I want a little rat dog. Daddy, I want to be a street artist when I grow up. And it was only after the rat dog and stuff like that that people actually kind of took it a little bit more seriously, I guess. You know, look where it's led. Going to do quite a nice little wall in Shoreditch where the work should belong. I think the idea for this piece of work is there a way that we could actually say something and make an impact? This wall is to say, you know what, maybe stop, look at what we're doing. That's why the work looks the way it does. The juxtaposition of candy pink little pop Mickey Mouse spot with a, you know, a very kind of modern typographic kind of look. You don't expect it to say what it says, but it does make you stop and look. Don't tell people what to think, don't tell people what to do. Make up your own mind. Every day is a blessing where I can get to do what I do. Every day that I'm allowed to print, have a voice, create, that's the dream.